Hello, my bookish friends. Welcome back to my channel. So, judged by the title and probably the thumbnail, you guys already know what we're about to get into. So, I have literally been seeing this trend all over TikTok, all over YouTube, and I think it originated on TikTok where you take all the books from your TBR, your physical TBR, you wrap them in a fun wrapping paper, and those are the books that you're going to read for the month. Now, I'm going to do that. First of all, my wrapping skills are absolutely horrid, so bear with me. I think I'm going to come back and after I finish this intro, I'm going to leave and then pop back in with them wrapped, because if y'all try to watch me wrap, it would take all day. If you are here from my other channel, you know I have tried to wrap over the years and it just has not worked out. So what I'm going to do is I am going to wrap the books from my physical TBR, and then we are going to blindly pick what I read. So I don't only read physical books, but I'm just switching it up because I'm such a mood reader that I skip around books so much that I kind of want to stick to something, and my TBR is growing. So if you can see behind me, some of my shelves are empty because in the last video, or one of the last videos, y'all saw me unhaul books. I am not the booktuber that is prepared to have a super extensive library right now. I get a lot of books from the library. The books that I do buy, a lot of times once I read them, if I'm not like attached to them, I will put them in a little library. I will give them to friends. So I wanted to do this trend and just switch it up a little bit to fit me. I'm going to be wrapping up my physical books to kind of hold myself accountable to read the books that I have, because I see so many other books that I want to read. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the books that are on my physical TBR from behind me, and then I will wrap them. I'm really excited. So I already know one book that I'm going to read, and it's going to be Butcher and Blackbird. That is the book that I'm reading from my book club, Licensed to Thrill, over on Fable. We picked Butcher and Blackbird, and I'm super excited about that, but I already have that on Kindle. So that's going to be my Kindle read. I'm a read one book at a time person. I'm trying to learn how to read multiple books, but I don't know. I'm just a one book at a time reader. So typically I can read a book a week. So I'm really excited to throw physical books inside of my monthly reads. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and grab some books from behind me, and then I'm gonna get to wrapping.
Listen, wait me back.
Baby, what you wanna do? I'm ready to pull up on you. I'm ready to do what I do. This type of shit have you waiting.
Okay, so the books that I have, these are the physical books that I have not read yet, and I'm kind of excited about all of them. So I'm just gonna show you guys what we got. So if you did watch my last video, you saw that I went thrifting and I found this book. So the first book that I have that I'm going to wrap is That Night by Sin Balog. And like I said in the previous video, I kind of discussed what this was about, but basically it's about a girl whose boyfriend passed, and her and some others don't think he committed suicide. So I'm thinking they're gonna go figure out what happened and figure out the truth, because she then gets like a note or something, a hidden message. She finds a hidden message in like some of his clothing, and then she goes to try to find out what's going on. The next book is actually a book that I bought my boyfriend for Christmas, but I feel like I will read it before him. So this is actually his book, but I am going to go ahead and wrap it, and if I get it, I will be very excited because I've heard so much about it. And basically, this is somewhat of a fantasy. Y'all know I'm not a fantasy girl. I'm a thriller girl. So this would be even more exciting to get this. But basically, it's about a monster, and she opens up a coffee shop. It says, after a lifetime of boundaries and bloodshed, V is hanging up her sword for the last time. The battle-weary orc aims to start fresh, open her first ever coffee shop in the city of Thune. But rivals old and new stand in the way of success. So this is such a popular book. I know that there is a second one that came out, and I kind of want to get into this because if you don't know me, I love coffee, and I just think the visual is so cute. So that's the second one. Central Park, which if you watch my last vlog, this is another book that I had found at the used bookstore. And this is about a cop who wakes up on a bench handcuffed to a guy who's a musician. She don't know what happened. There's blood on her. There's a gun in her pocket. So she's like racing for time, trying to figure out what happened and what's going on. One of Us is Lying. Shout out to Lisa again for gifting me this. This is about a group of teens, I think. The brain, the beauty, the criminal, the athlete, and the outcast. And Simone, who is the outcast, she never makes it out of the classroom because they were all in detention. So she dies, and I guess this book is going to be figuring out how, why, when, where, and then this also has a sequel. So that's this book. Two more. Then this is the book of the month that I got last month. No One Can Know. I know a lot of people have this on their TBR and are super excited about it. I started reading this, but yep, I got to page 10. So if I picked this, I would already be ahead of the game. But I got this from Book of the Month last month, and it seems good. It's about a woman who her and her husband fall on hard times, and I believe they have to move back to the house she grew up in because she's pregnant and her husband don't got a job. But when they get there, like a lot of old stuff is dug up, and that house is where her parents died. Her and her sisters don't talk about it anymore, and when her and her husband get there, I guess a lot of stuff starts happening. So No One Can Know is another book on my TBR. And then the last book on my TBR is the first book that I got in PR just earlier this week, Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. And this reminds me so much of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, because y'all know I love that, kind of like the tapes and the podcasty feel. This is a podcasty type book, which I really like because some other books I read last year had the same vibe. I also started reading this book. I'm on page 14. And basically it's about, I want to say a murder. What if you thought you murdered your best friend and everyone else thought so too? And what if the truth doesn't matter? So basically this girl, her best friend, is murdered. Everybody thinks she did it. She doesn't know if she did it because she can't remember anything from that night. So that is what this is about. So these are the books on my physical TBR. I don't have a crazy big TBR, physical TBR. So I'm excited to wrap these and see what we got. Honestly and truly, I think I'm only going to pick like maybe 2 or 3 books from my physical TBR because, like I said, I'm a mood reader and I do read on my Kindle, my iPad, and my phone a lot. So I just thought this would be kind of fun to wrap these so that moving forward, I would be able to do this in the future. So yeah, I'll pick 2 or 3 of these. So let me wrap them and I'll be back.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna wear this a little bit. Put that on that. Just a second. This is I'm sure because it's hard for kids outside. But yeah, okay, we're gonna be freezing in the car if we don't. Watch YouTube videos. Like when I'm driving, I just want a YouTube video on right now. No one else is usually awake right now. I'm working.
right, guys, so we're about to pick 3 of these books. So I wrapped 6, but we're gonna pick 3. And like I said, I don't only read physical books, so I'm going to challenge myself to read at least 3 physical books for the month of February. So yeah, this is my February TBR, if I didn't say that before, and that is why I wrapped up the books in Valentine's Day paper, and this is how it is gonna work. So I got this cute little pink bear from Dollar Tree, and at the bottom of the bear, I just put numbers 1 through 6 because I have 6 books. So I'm just gonna shake up this little bear, and then we're going to open it, and I'm gonna pick a number out. Y'all, I'm really excited. I want to read the book by the Tentera author, because that book comes out in March. That book is an arc, so I really want to get that book. I put the name on the screen, but I know her last name is Tentera. It's the one that I got in PR earlier this week, so I really want to read that one. And then I really want to read Central Park. I really want to read Central Park, and the other one I don't care. So with all that out of the way, I am going to close my eyes, and the first one we are going to be opening is book number 2. If you guys can see that itty bitty 2, so that is book number 2. So y'all, I'm excited. So I wrapped them. Y'all saw my wrapping was not up to par. The reason why I don't know what they are is because they feel very similar. So I had 2 hardcover that was kind of the same width, and then all of the paperbacks were kind of the same width. So I don't know. So this is book number 2. Let's open it and see what we got. I'm gonna close my eyes. Y'all tell me, what is it? And I know this is just gonna challenge me to read more, but this is just like a funner way. So let's see what we got. It feels like, I don't know. What is it, guys? Let me know. Okay, so I got That Night. Now, I do want to read this, but I did not really want to read it in February, but that's okay. We're going to read this. This one also kind of reminds me of Good Girls Got to Murder, because a girl, she's in high school and she's trying to figure out what happened to her friend and all that. So I'm going to be reading That Night by Sin Belong. So that's the first book that I'm going to be reading. So I'm just going to set it right here, and then we're going to pick 2 more, y'all. 2 more. So let's shake up this little bear. This is kind of fun. I know a lot of people do like the TBR jar, which I might do one month, but I'm going to try this out because I've said it on so many occasions. I'm not a TBR girl because I'm a mood reader, but I want to switch things up in 2024. So let's just see. All right. So the next number I got is number 1. Ooh. Let's see what number 1 is. It's either Central Park, Legends and Lattes, or the Tentera book. So let's see. Book number 1. All right, y'all. Legends and Lattes. So this is a book that I really wanted to read, but not necessarily in February. So yeah, these books are giving me a run for my money. Like I said, this is a book that I actually got my boyfriend for Christmas, but I can read it before he'll get to it. So this is going to be our second book, Legends and Lattes. And the third book, I'm so like, oh my gosh, because I really want to get, make sure I don't have any. Okay. I really want to get freaking Central Park. And again, I can still read those books because again, I read more than like 3-4 books a month. It's just a simple fact that I want to pick them. So let's just see. So this is the last book that I'm gonna pick. I think, yeah, 3 is good. 3 is good to start, and then if I like this next month when I do this, or if I do a form of this, then we can pick more books. All right, y'all, I'm nervous. Okay, the last book that I'm going to pick is going to be book number 4. Book number 4. So 3, sorry. 5, sorry. And 6, sorry. So book number 4. I only had 2 hard books in here. So it's either I think it's the book of the month book. It feels like the book of the month book, which is another book I did not really want to get, but that's what it feels like. So let's see. Yep, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. That's what it felt like. I don't know how I feel about this, y'all. Y'all let me know. So No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall. So the 3 books that I picked for my physical TBR for the month of February is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. And again, I'm excited about this. It's not necessarily one of my first picks, but I wanted to read it since 2023. So this is going to be the first book I read. I also pulled That Night by Sin Belong. Again, I told y'all how I felt about this. I'm excited about it, but I didn't necessarily feel like reading it in February, but we're going to give this a go. I'm definitely going to circle back around and let y'all know if I DNF'd any of these books or if I stuck to it. And the last book I pulled was the book of the month pick that I picked last month, No One Can Know by Kate Alice Marshall. And I told y'all what this is about. So with that being said, I'm really excited. I had a lot of fun doing this video. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see me do it again or want to see me do a TBR draw, let me know, and I will be back towards the end of February to let you guys know how I fared with these books and the TBR. All right, y'all. See you in my next video.
You stop it, Gucci, stop it, Louis V, yeah.